my god, I'm so happy right now. So, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Sorry, bad intro. But today is the gloomiest day ever, and I really need to film this video today because I have such a busy filming schedule for the rest of this week. I was trying to figure out how I could make this video more lit. This is just going great. I have a ring light, but it's attached to a stand, so I've been like trying to figure out how to place the stand so that I can get this video right, but I figured out how to detach the head of my ring light from the stand that it comes with, so we are lit today, my friends. So yeah, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a Q&A, but it's going to be a little bit different because usually I do my Q&As through Instagram. I'll put up a little question box and answer those questions. But today's Q&A is actually a YouTube exclusive Q&A. I always forget that there's a lot of people on YouTube who actually don't use Instagram or don't really go on Instagram like that, so I thought it would be fun to change it up. So yeah, I have my coffee. Cheers. And we're just gonna have like a chill little Q&A video. Okay, first question is about Instagram. How do you make your Instagram feed? Okay, so when it comes to Instagram, I do a few different things. I have only really recently started looking at the layout of my Instagram. I've always been conscious of like not posting two selfies beside each other, or, you know, just kind of posting things so they look good aesthetically. But now more than ever, I'm paying attention to, you know, posting things at the right time, or you know, making sure my pictures are bright enough, making sure that there's a difference between like a full body photo and then a face photo and a work photo. So something that I find really helpful when it comes to Instagram is using like an Instagram planning app. I'll insert the app that I like to use. I'll put like a little picture for you, but the app that I like to use actually allows me to plan my Instagram content ahead of time, so I can put in all the pictures that I have ready to post, and then I can play around with the layout and see what looks better. Sometimes when you're posting a photo, you can't really tell how it's going to look beside everything else on your grid until you see it in front of you, so that's something that I like to do. And then I don't really do very much in terms of filters or anything like that. I do like to use Lightroom to brighten up the background and, you know, play with the contrast. And it also, if you have the Pro version of Lightroom, it actually allows you to balance out any shadows in the background. So I don't go crazy on the filters. I like to keep my pictures pretty natural and normal because I feel like that is what I want to post, that's what people want to see, but I do want to make sure the quality is the best that it can be. Do you have a strategy here on YouTube? If yes, what is it? So my strategy for YouTube is I try to stay really consistent with my posting schedule. I used to post on Tuesdays and Fridays, and now it's changed to Mondays and Thursdays over the pandemic, but I honestly do like Mondays and Thursdays better than Tuesdays and Fridays. I just like waking up on a Monday, having a video ready to go, pushing it live myself, and then seeing the comments and seeing how it's doing. It's just, for me, it's like a good way to start the week. I feel accomplished or something. I also plan ahead when it comes to my videos. Because of my schedule, I know that I'm gonna have 8 or 9 videos each month, depending on like how the month goes. So I try to plan what those videos are gonna be. Some of them are gonna be more last minute than others, but I usually try and work a week in advance so that I'm never behind on videos. I never am stressing about creating content because I just know myself, and I know that if I'm stressing to make a video, it's not going to turn out good. I'm not going to be happy with it. And then it's really just about coming up with ideas, which for me is not really that difficult, knock on wood. Creativity just comes naturally to me. I'm always coming up with new video ideas. And then for me, it's actually also helpful to kind of see what's out there, see what other people are doing, see what videos are doing well, and see how I can make that content my own. Tips for starting a YouTube channel. My tip for starting a YouTube channel is to just start. You don't have to wait to have the perfect camera or the perfect editing software or the perfect whatever. You kind of just have to start. To be honest, like if you're gonna wait to make the perfect video, you're gonna be waiting forever. You might as well just start, because once you put out one video, there's only going up from there. So that's my tip for starting a YouTube channel. And then all the tips that I said in the previous question too. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think the industry needs to change overall? It's a really like loaded question. I don't know if I could put I don't know if I could pick a number on a scale for that, but I think if we're talking about diversity and inclusivity, I think we've come a long way. There's still a long way to go, but I think we are moving in the right direction, especially for the consumer. I think over the last like 5 years or so, the voice of the consumer has become so powerful that they are literally forcing the industry to change. And I think that's great. I don't think it's necessarily been great for me because, you know, I'm historically the type of model that was used and the only type of model that was used. So for me personally, it hasn't been great, but I don't care about that, you know, because when I go on a website, I know I'm gonna see myself. I know I'm gonna see a model that looks like me or a model that is me. I'm never gonna have to worry about not being represented because I've always been represented. Now it's about representing everyone else and everyone who has not been represented in the past. So, you know, I think we're definitely moving in the right direction. I think there's a lot more diversity on websites and campaigns in the industry in general, you know. Do I think we're all the way there? No. I think it's important to look at what we are doing and, you know, looking at brands who are doing things because they want to, not because they're forced to. How to stay motivated and keep a positive perspective on life, especially in these times. I don't know if this answer is actually going to be helpful, but to be honest, for me, when I haven't been feeling motivated or when I haven't been feeling positive, this year the best thing for me has to just been take a step back. Because every time I try and force it or I try and push myself more, motivate myself more, or like control the situation more, it just ends up getting worse. I don't know if that's the answer that you're looking for, but that's something that I've had to do for myself and something that I've had to learn this year. In these circumstances is like, I can push myself, you know, and try to control whatever is happening as much as I want, but at the end of the day, this is just not a normal time. And on that note, like, I've been trying to be more intuitive about what feels good when I'm feeling unmotivated or when I'm feeling sad or stressed or negative, is to, you know, instead of forcing myself to do the things that you should do, is like, what actually feels good right now? Does a walk feel good? Does watching TV feel good? Does calling a best friend feel good? Does eating something that you love feel good, you know? Yeah, again, like in a normal world, this might not be my answer, but in the world that we're currently in, which is so uncertain and so out of our control, my answer is to let it come over you, take a step back, and just be intuitive about it and get back to it when you feel like you can. Thoughts on being single during your early 20s? I think being single in your early 20s is the best thing ever, because this is kind of the time where you learn the most about yourself. It's the time where, you know, you have the opportunity to be selfish and be on your own and figure out what you like. For me, at least, it's been great because I've had the opportunity to focus on work, focus on myself, really get to know myself as well. Because I think, you know, when you're single and you're by yourself, that's when you get to know yourself best. So I support being single in your early 20s. What is your advice to young adults who are just getting started in life? First time moving out of house, first time living on your own, managing finances, etc. Okay, one of the first things that I would do when it comes to moving out on your own, doing all of that, is if you haven't already gotten a credit card, is get a credit card. Start building your credit really early on. Credit is everything. And I'm so grateful that I was able to get a credit card years ago and start building my credit then, because now my credit score is excellent, which is really high for someone in their early 20s. And it's gonna help me when, you know, I wanna move apartments. It's gonna help me in so many different ways. So that would be my first tip. What else? I think a budget is really important when you first move out. Knowing when you can spend and knowing when you can't, really important. Especially when you're moving out on your own and you're taking care of your own bills. You just never want to be in a situation where you're spending more than you're earning. I don't think you should be overthinking money, and I don't think that stress about money is ever good, but you do want to be realistic about how much you're making versus how much you're spending. You also want to be careful with credit cards. You need a credit card to build credit, but you don't need 5 credit cards. If you're just starting out with credit cards and you're really young, get a simple credit card. Get a cash back card from your bank, start building credit on it, put a low limit, put like $1,000 on it, and you know, that will help you build credit, but it'll also like cap you at a certain amount of money so you don't go off the rails. Another thing that I think everyone should do is put all their bills on auto pay. All my bills are paid automatically every single month, a few days before the due date. My credit cards, my gas and electric bill, my Spectrum, my everything. I feel like I could make a video about this, honestly. The last thing I will say, and I'm saying this mainly because I feel like this is a huge trend on YouTube and just in general, is like feeling the need to have the perfect aesthetic apartment. I actually think that you should do the opposite. The reason why I say this is because a lot of the times the first apartment you move into when you move out is not somewhere you stay for very long. And that's why this apartment isn't super decorated or super fancy, is because this is not my long-term place. I have been here for like 3.5 years, but it's not the place that I want to invest time and money into. As much as you might see people on YouTube showing these fancy aesthetic apartments, like, it's not realistic, and I don't think that that should be a standard that we as like young people should be held to. I think when it comes to your first apartment, buy furniture, buy like basic pieces, but don't go over the top, because a lot of the times, like, within a few years you're going to be moving into a new place, your style might change. I think it's way more important to focus on putting your money towards other things, experiences, savings, like a rainy day fund. I think that's way more important than having the perfect aesthetic apartment at the age of 22. Next question is, does the constant changing of plans and unpredictable schedule that comes along with modeling ever affect your friendships? No, it doesn't. I think I'm very lucky because a lot of my friends are also in my industry, so we know what it's like. We know our plans can change every hour, essentially. And then my friends who aren't in the industry have just known me for years and they know how everything works now. So no, it doesn't ever affect my friendships. And I think my friends just understand that if something comes up or if I'm ever too busy, it's not because I don't want to see them, it's because I just have to put work first. That's just what I have to do, and I would support them in doing the same. I think it also really depends on the kind of friends you have, what they have going on. Like, all of my friends are similar to me in the sense that they're very independent, they're all working on something, they're all busy, you know, doing their own thing. So nobody's really sitting around at the end of the day waiting for a phone call or a text. Like, I don't really have friends who I speak to necessarily every single day. So it just works, you know, because we're all busy, we're all doing our own thing, but then we make time to come together when it works out. And we just stay in touch over the phone too, you know, we'll text or we'll call or whatever. Okay, last question because I can see my battery dying. So I need to hurry up. I'll finish with this question. Do you know when you're going to see your family? How do you deal with not knowing when you'll be able to travel again, especially during these uncertain times? So I actually do plan on going home for Christmas. Hopefully all goes well. That being said, like, the town that my parents live in did just have to go back to stage 2 lockdown, so kind of one of those things that we have to play by ear, but hopefully I'll be able to see them for the holidays this year. So that is going to be it for this Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!